I think the biggest challenge for Africa in 2014 will be, of course, getting its infrastructure right. And part of that will be getting resources or the necessary capital to make sure that it has the infrastructure that it needs for its development, including energy, of course. Capital is one of the most difficult things to put together, and I think that getting to the capital markets is going to be the biggest challenge for Africa in 2014. Africa cannot continue to rely just on traditional sources for its resources to develop the continent. We know that just for infrastructure, it needs about $75 billion a year to satisfy the needs in energy, agriculture, and the social sectors. So basically what Africa needs to do is double its access to the capital markets. We have seen that between 2006 and 2009, only about 3 countries actually had access to capital markets, and they raised about $3.4 billion, whereas in 2013 alone, Africa's access to the capital markets let it raise about $4.7 billion. And I think that this is the right way to go for Africa if we want to continue growing the way we're growing. As you know, we have about 11 countries in Africa today that have sustained growth at above 6%. We need to keep that because we also have a very young continent with a lot of youth looking for jobs. And for them to find those jobs, we need to continue growing. I think a number of things that development institutions can do. The first one is to give technical assistance to countries on how to access capital markets, because it's a very fine methodology in how you do it, what you do, who you talk to, and how you talk to them. And a lot of developing countries, especially the poorest countries, have not done this before. So in some sense, it's a little bit of a game. You need to know how to play it. And so I think that one of the first things that the development institutions can do is help countries accompany the process, because in front of this the developing countries, what you have are very refined institutions that have been doing capital market access for the developed countries, for corporations, for big corporations, and JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and have been doing this and can do it in their sleep. But a lot of developing countries don't know how to do it. So this is the first thing. The second thing that we can do is continue to ensure that these developing countries maintain good and sound macroeconomic framework. This is something that we're doing already, and we can continue to do it. Because, of course, to have better market access, you need to have good debt to GDP ratios, you need to have a good deficit, you need to be showing that you're continuing on the path of reform. And this is something I think that development institutions have done, know how to do well, and can continue to do.